we're back. Episode 50. So, whoever said that we cannot get to episode 50, here we are. And this time, together with my two best pals in Flames of War, Lud and Christian. Hello, guys. You're on the screen right now. Look at that guy. He's doing like crazy painting for ATC, I guess. Lud?
No, not for the. Well, I guess for the ETC as well, but just priming. No crazy painting.
Just priming. Priming is very good and important. And I got my own models to start doing some workout, but I just don't get the time to do it, and I don't manage it. Like I need to free up some spare time. Luckily for me, I have almost all the list painted. Look at those. Look at those.
You cannot see it with the lights on, maybe? No, it's difficult to see, but it's actually, it cost me, it's not finished yet, but it's the 2013 Flames of War objective with the Oddballs tank from Killis Heroes.
Whoa, nice.
It cost me like 40 quid.
Whoa!
No surprise.
But it's like, it's very rare and in mint condition also. So
yeah, I could give some money for that objective as well.
Perfect. All right, so hello guys, good to be back. Good to be on episode 50. Trying to get things sorted and getting used to how it used to be. We're running on Skype right now. You can see an OBS virtual camera not displaying on the screen. That's because I haven't managed to fix it yet. And also, if I'm looking left, then you see me looking right. So that's something that probably it's about mirroring, but we'll work on that. How is everybody doing? I see Patrick in the chat already saying hello to you guys. Hello Christian, hello Lud again. How are the preps going for ATC?
I'm almost done.
Almost done. Christian, I think he's also almost done. And I see he changed his camera. He has a much better camera right now.
Oh, it's because it's my phone. My
All right.
laptop, it's ruined now, and it has done its job for me for the last 10 years. So now I had to tire it.
All right.
I had to tire it. No, but the guys are actually on the Danish team. They're actually Helge and Anders is actually having a practice match tonight at Anders' place, and I'm finishing up my mortars and my US tank for the list, and then I have to repair some battle damage.
All right.
Of my miniatures, because it's like it's a play item. It gets chipped once in a while, even though you varnish it and stuff. And I actually, at one tournament, lost two infantry strands for my paras, so I had to paint up two new ones.
All right.
They're probably camping somewhere in a house or something.
Yeah, my British
The
paras.
classic church tower.
Yeah, exactly. My British paras are Canadians this year, so basically we're gonna roll with them and see how they do. Last year in SSF they did really well, so basically I'm expecting to do at least the same amount of points. It's a different strategy for this year, and probably it will be a bigger pressure with 20 teams turning up and with a lot of new, let's say, not new teams, but I think it's first year in many years when we have 20 teams, isn't it?
No, it's just because of COVID. We used to have, last time, I think in 2019, we were like 24 teams.
No,
But
I think we're much less, about 18 or something like that.
back in the old days, 2013, when I was there the first time, we had like 26 or 28 teams.
Yeah, probably.
But it's much more difficult to collect a team consisting of 6 good guys,
Yep.
skilled players, than compared to 4 players.
And especially with the fact that people will want, for example, will need money to join in for for the event, and they have to, maybe buy miniatures and buy their armies, and that could turn up really expensive for someone. And especially in the summertime when people have like holidays and stuff like that, it's quite difficult sometimes.
Could you mute it, your sound, because we can hear it quite loud now. Yeah.
But we like to hear him.
I would like to hear him, but it's just like I don't know if the viewer.
So it is a bit too loud.
It's a bit too loud, yeah.
Yeah, we tried it out earlier and then it was good.
It's good right now also, but I think the thing is that you need to talk. So tell us, Lud, how is the Finland team doing, and what are your expectations for this ETC?
I mean, our expectation is to come over to Belgium, have some fun,
drink some beer.
Yeah, that too maybe. Have some games, have some fun, and enjoy our time. It's been a while since Team Finland has been properly playing. I think the last time was Hold on, I need to look at the wall.
I think
it was 2017.
It was in Salamanca.
Yeah, it was Salamanca. So
that was my first year, and was actually the first year when I've met a really good player you had in the Finnish team.
Yeah, because we played each other then.
We played
Team Romania, Team Finland played each other.
Exactly,
in Salamanca.
And I played against him, and I defeated him. What was his name? Jan.
Oh, but he was the Slovenian.
Yeah.
Reinforcement. So he will not be playing with our team.
All right. But he was very, very good, and we had a.
Yeah, he's a good player.
We had a tough time. I mean, we had a great match, but I had a tough time competing against him, especially if it was my first ETC. And oh boy, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And you, Christian, how is Team Denmark doing?
Well, I think I can frankly say that we have the best team yet in a 6-man roster.
All right.
And we are planning on being a serious contender for the podium, especially if we want to defend our 4th place from last year at the
That's a very good plan, and I totally agree with you. You guys have strong lists. You have a strong army, and you have a lot of people with experience. And after SSF, you surely should be somewhere in the top 5. You know, we are regarding you guys as serious contenders for first 5, so this is how it'll go. Finland, for us, it's also a team that could come with some surprises at a point, so why not? And
well, I mean, most of the guys are completely new for most of you in the so-called tournament scene, so it should be fun.
Yeah, and then I'm also glad that Helge, he's our team captain. He's part of the let's say, player pack committee, and I'm glad that they changed the battle matrix for the event, because some of the missions that were in the old roster or the old matrix were just crap. So with the new matrix, it's much better. And I also think that the way the matchup system works this time will definitely be some sort of, I don't know, dark horse in the tournament, because you can really screw up. You don't know how to do the matchups, especially because you don't know what stance you have.
Exactly.
So the mission has to be built, yeah.
Exactly. The main problem is, I mean, we're having some discussions right now with some lists and some build lists, and I have a big problem, or it slipped under my radar. The rules pack. I mean, in the beginning we used to have quite a good rule pack, you know, that eliminated that let's say, very strange rule that allowed people to just take a book for support and then take formations from totally different books, and that was a problem that brought a lot of discussions in the community, on Facebook and everywhere. And somewhere in March, when I've seen the final rule pack for the ATC, it was there stated that you need to pick a book, you then pick a formation, and then you can pick another formation from another book and stuff like that. And that was quite simple, but then I've seen that the captains voted for something that said that you can pick a book, then you can pick a formation. It doesn't really have to be from book that you pick.
Yeah, but then again, it's like the captains have voted and the community have spoken, so it's like that's how it is, and that's how it's going to be. So you just have to play around it.
Now there is nothing that we can do, but it's just a thing that I think many of the captains, or I know that my captain, for example, he was 100% sure that we're gonna avoid the shenanigans that we have with the Battlefront system of making lists. And then, of course, this is how they voted, or at least this is how the last rule pack I've seen looks like. And it's a pity, I think, because we were just so close to making this game a little bit better, and now we're just turning back to shenanigans and lists that completely blow your mind. And from my point of view, it just ruins the fun, because people just put their heads, to work to create incredible lists.
Until that's ETC for you, man.
It is.
Then you should go and play like in an Aerosol campaign or something.
It is. But basically, the game is ruined by this way of making lists. And I was hoping that we won't see that at the ATC, but hey, this is how it is, and we see it now at the ATC, and we have to accept it. I have absolutely no problem with players that picked it up. It is legal. It is there. This is how they voted. I don't know how and when they changed it, but this is how they voted, and this is how it is. Hello, Soron. Hello, Andre. Good to see you with us. Good people, and I'm very happy. We could talk, for example, and ask you guys, what do you think about this?
Oh, do you want to ask the guys in the chat? Yeah, but it
is like this. Scott is saying, hello, Scott. I hope you're going through every single list in ATC list. Well, absolutely not, because for me, for example, I've just looked over the main countries, let's say, or the top 10 countries we had last year, and I've looked through their lists, and I could say which look the best and what kind of combinations I really like. And for the perspective, for example, Christian is playing British Reke, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and Lud is playing Finnish infantry, right, Lud? Perfect. Lud is muted right now. He's self-muted. He's just painting and using his airbrush, and he just said, all right, guys, I'm going to give you some time of clarity to be able to think and say things. But we will unmute Lud, and we'll ask him about his favorite lists and his favorite countries. I will start, if you guys allow me, or Christian, you want to start. I can say what are the countries that I consider to have the best lists or the strongest lists. I will start with France. I will exclude Romania because I cannot talk about Romania from my perspective. I would say we have the greatest lists, but then this is not something objective, or it's subject to a lot of emotional stress here.
Play style.
Yeah, and play style, of course. I would say France has one of the best lists. Not actually lists that will win all the games, but they have lists that it will be hard to win against. So basically, we will have to see how they play them. Then I really like the Swiss lists also. They look really nice. Polish list, as usual. There's the delightment of seeing Mikal and the gang showing us how to play 6 crocodiles. Hello. And now I'm very happy that the horde of Stummels has 2 king tigers in it. So basically, they are a little bit less Stummels to kill and juicier king tigers. Denmark is also one of the countries with good lists, and maybe UK. US lists I also like, but these are like, you know, the top 5 for me. For you guys?
Well, when I saw Poland's setup, I really liked it. The only thing I think is off in their list is the crocodiles, because it just signals I'm an attack list. So it's so easy to anticipate that this is going to be an attack list. And then they have invested like 42 points worth of units that cannot capture and claim an objective. So they only have like the leftovers to try and sit on top of the objective. So if you can try to ignore the crocodiles and just focus on the other stuff, he has 42 points worth of stuff that cannot capture anything.
That's my opinion also about the crocodiles. But then we have our captain playing crocodiles, and he likes them very much, and he plays them very good.
I brought them myself because they're good and they take some skill to utilize correctly. But yeah, I like Poland's setup. I like France's setup. I also like your setup too. And I'm just saying this because you're sitting there, because I know the players by heart now, and I know like guys like you and Dan, they have to play. And sometimes when you look at a list, you cannot say that this list sucks or whatever, to be frank, because you don't know what has gone into the player's mindset when he started to build the list. And he definitely got some sort of plan with it, or maybe there's an overall plan with the team on how it's supposed to work. So let's always anticipate that the opponent across the table knows how to play his list. So I like Romania's setup, and France's, of course, because Michel and Patrick and Fred are very good players. The other guys I don't know.
And it's Livio playing for them now.
Yeah, Livio. He can also pull his weight. He knows how to play. And then, like, the USA was like they had some crazy list last year at the SSF, and then after game 5 or something, I think the gas went out of the balloon for those guys. So I don't know if the US lists are that good, but I think they have a plan with it. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, so I said Poland, France, Romania, and then I also like the Serbian lists, and that I thought about when I looked through. Yeah, the Swiss list as well. But I think the Serbs, Bojan is coming, and he's also a very great player for Serbia. I played him once in counterattack. My overall hate mission.
Yeah.
Had to defend.
All right.
Guess what happens? I lost.
It happens.
Yeah, because that mission sucks. But Serbia is like a dark horse in the field, because they have some skilled players as well. So watch out for Serbia. And then again, like Romania, France, USA, Denmark, Swiss, UK probably will be contenders.
Definitely good list.
But again, Portugal. Andre is in the chat. They always play Portugal, and they have some great players, Torradas and Andre and those guys. Hugo also, great players from Portugal. So it's everybody's game at the ETC, and especially with the matchup system, nothing is like predetermined when you see the lists. Like it has come so much down to the matchmaking.
All right, Lud, tell us about your favorites.
I have to admit now that I'm not the right person to ask, since I haven't had time to look at the lists. I took a quick glance when the deadline was. I took a quick glance on some lists, just like looking at which friends are playing and so on. But it's happy to see. I mean, well, I'm just more excited about coming over and finally getting a proper ETC going.
Exactly.
Not saying that SSF isn't a proper ETC, but I mean it's still fun.
Not a proper ETC. It's
It
not
is
a
not.
ETC.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd say the feeling was still like being at an ETC last time.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna my summer holidays start on the same day as we fly over to Belgium, and the weekend before, I'm gonna be starting to actually start studying the lists and like properly and seeing what's gonna be on there. But I mean, yeah, we've had 2 new books since the SSF, but like the events I've played at and so on, I'd say there hasn't been that many meta list changes. So at least for now.
Delightful that there's some new teams that we haven't seen at ETC before. Talking about Søren and our friends from the north.
Yes.
Iceland. And I know they have a Danish player.
All right.
Denmark is playing for them.
Nice.
So we might, if we play against them, I'm going to ask him, Rasmus, which country do your heart actually beats? Iceland or Denmark?
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
it's gonna be a good time.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be something new. It's gonna be finally getting back to the ATC. It's the first year we are all by ourselves. It's the first year when Battlefront gets behind the project a lot more than it used to. And this makes me happy from point of organizing events, and hopefully next year and so on, Battlefront will get behind the people. Hopefully Battlefront will fix the list building issues and everything with some decent lessons from the front, and we will have people coming back to the game more than they currently are, because I could tell that, for example, for my community here, things are getting like rotten from time to time. I mean, now when you have like 7 German books and you can have so many weird and strange mixes, it has to you have to have some order at a point. I mean, all right, you're playing a historical based game. Maybe you should try thinking that lists should not be that crazy, or they should have something historical backing them up.
Yeah, but again, it's different because it's a beer and pretzels game, and if you're the TO, you can just set the rules package that you want for your tournament.
Exactly.
It's not one's job to do it. It's like you can say that you're only allowed to use this book, information from this book. So, but I'm also curious to see the table standard, because we had a huge improvement in table standard at the SSF, and that is something to take into consideration when you are to play at this year's ETC, because I talked to...
I heard you guys are bringing tables also, right? Or not?
Maybe. I don't know if the other guys have talked about bringing tables.
Because
maybe
there's a best table now award from Battlefront, actually.
I assume that the teams that will be driving to Belgium might be bringing tables, but for example, for Team Finland, we're all flying. We're definitely not bringing tables.
No. But it's funny that this idea I gave to Chen last year, that they should make like a table competition, is actually something I've stolen from the Danish bold action scene. Mm-hmm. And it's great to see now that ETC, that they're actually taking it to heart and starting up a table competition, especially because this like encourage people to bring some cool tables, and this will make the gaming much better. And so we don't have a scenario like when Fred and the guys from France went out and bought a lot of doormats and some cardboard and painted green, so we could have at least more than 5 pieces of terrain on a game.
Zagreb 2018, never forget.
Yeah. For us, it is like I I mean, I've been there. I've been to Diepenbeck. I've been to the venue we're going to attend, and the tables they had there were absolutely wonderful. And I'm sure I'm sure the guys will get behind it. And I know, for example, Robbie is working very hard on having a lot of terrain on a desert table. So,
I mean, I didn't think for 1 minute that the tables wouldn't be good. Hold on, which year was it? Looking at the wall again. 2019 Belgian GT. At least Tio was there.
yeah, it was.
I mean, the standard of tables there was amazing. So I had no hesitation, no fears that the tables wouldn't be on a good level this year at the ETCs when the Belgians announced that they're gonna organize it.
Yeah, I'm sure about that. And the fact that I used to live in Belgium probably makes me a bit subjective to this, because I really like Belgians and I really like being there and staying there, and I know things, I know how to get from the airport to everywhere. So that's perfect. And basically they're very, very nice bunch of people there, and they are quite enthusiastically taking this organizing tournaments and things, thinking into serious, they're helping out people traveling there. They're doing, we're having a bus rented for us. So that's,
again, it's like, we really need to give a round of applause at the event to the guys from Team Belgium, because they, pulled a tournament out of nowhere, because Poland had to say no due to the fact that they had to host Ukrainian refugees at the
venue. Yeah.
The venue. So it's great that they, in 2 months' time, could establish a tournament, and all the logistical stuff around it, and also arranging catering and food for us and beverages and stuff.
Food is wonderful.
Yeah, but it's there's 120 players, there's a lot of stuff. You need to have all those meals prepared.
Exactly.
Everybody gets a hot meal, and it's there's a lot of staff that doesn't play. There's a lot of voluntary work goes into a tournament like that. And actually, in regards to the terrain, I think the reason why we had such scrappy terrain in 2018 was because the container, they had this 20 feet container that kept all the terrain for Flames of War in, got lost somewhere en route to the
venue
tournament.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they had to scrap stuff up, and the guys that were voluntarily helping out were from a gaming club that used to play 40K or fantasy or whatever, and they're used to 5 pieces terrain and you're good. So yeah, but that just doesn't cut it at BTC. And as you guys remember, back in the day, they used to have the A row, where all 6 of the tables were very decent tables. So the higher you were up in the tiers and the ranking system, the better tables you played at.
Yeah.
And to see the fact now that most likely all of the tables will have a 8 out of 10, value in regards to the terrain and the features on top of it, little hedgerows and houses and
they're absolutely wonderful. I mean, we had little cows on the grass, and we had lightning poles and a lot of stuff. A lot of scenery on the table, and scenery that didn't affect the gameplay. And this is very important.
And then again, I hope also the tables, even though there's a terrain building competition at the event as well, they need to take into regard there's a fine line between aesthetics and the look of the table, and then also playability. Yeah, because you can just go full retard and make it into a model frame diorama, crap everywhere, so there's no line of sight. It's you have these big guns, and they have no chance at all to shoot you before they are in the side of the tiger. So it has to be a fine line, and I hope also that I don't know how the voting system is in regards to the tables, but I hope that they'll have 2 separate scores, so that you have to score both for aesthetics and playability, because it takes a lot of craftsmanship into making a table that is playable but also looks nice and gives a certain feeling when you play on it.
Perfectly agree with you. Perfectly agree with you. So maybe guys watching this stream, take it into account for your best table competition to just have 2 ticks there. So put a score for playability and put a score for aesthetics. That'll be a great thing, and it will actually make a boundary between, as Christian said, between having too much terrain that looks really good, but you cannot put your tanks anywhere or your stands. And then the other thing is, okay, you can play around it, but yeah, it just looks plain. It's just cardboard and mats, and that's it.
Yeah, I guess the scoring idea for the best table is exactly as you said. There's going to be like the looks and the aesthetics and playability. And I mean, as you guys said, if playability sucks, even if your table would look amazing, but if it's not a playable table, you're not going to be winning.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
And I have a nice example of this, because our good friend Helge, our captain, he has this amazing Stalingrad table where he's actually built the tractor factory. But he's made it in such a fashion so that inside it's like a big feature. Like you play it like let's say area terrain, so you cannot see more than X inches inside and outside if you're further from the edge. But inside there's terrain as well, so it takes up like half the table. So when you go inside with your infantry, there's still like short terrain and tall terrain and so on. So you can actually play with a tractor factory instead of just having a building with one huge room inside. So he has on his table, he has made like
maybe he brings it for the best table.
We'll see.
Encourage him.
And he also made the Reichstag and everything. So you can also play it like Berlin.
All right. Nice. Good.
Nice.
Good. Yeah. Bring all the good tables to the event, because we need them to have a lot of fun on them. All right, guys. So maybe the guys. I mean, Scott, for example, I know he's waiting for our opinion on some lists. What is? I mean, you took a short peek over the list, and what's the best combo you think will be winning games this year? For me, the best combo that I've seen is people taking Bulge lists, American Bulge list, and then Fortress Europe, and then some D-Day, and taking Payton with it. I think that combo, from my perspective and for me playing Americans, is just absolutely brilliant, because Payton will absolutely help everybody around it. So brilliant idea, have everybody come back on 2+. It's great. I've seen it on about 3 or 4 lists. I myself, I said I will give it a challenge and play without Payton, because I wanted something special and something, let's say something different from what I used to play, and I wanted the challenge. Why not?
Yeah, and like I think that like when you look at the list, it's easy. Like for every country, like let's say almost every country or every list you see, you can definitely tell which lists are like supposedly attack lists or defend lists. But what it all comes down to is who is doing the maneuver, and what's the plan with those maneuver lists. Are you planning on having the maneuvers play against their maneuver and then have a roll-off, or are you planning on defending with it and like eating up a good attack list, so to give you some better
I think
matchups?
I think maneuver list.
Maneuver is the key. Maneuver is seriously the key this year to winning the tournament, because
it's always
the defensive and offensive lists are super easy to spot, and then as Christian said, the maneuver okay, you can see directly that you're definitely going to have the lists that will have to choose maneuver at some point this year, and then you will go for, okay, well, this guy, if he plays maneuver, he will try to attack. But then the actual like maneuver lists, that's going to be super interesting, because you will not know what the guy will play until he declares his stance.
Yes. And when you look,
he might still change the way he plays it.
Yes. And when you look across this, you can also tell, like, when I look at the lists, this is just my humble opinion, you can easily spot, okay, these 60 points is going to be on the table, and these are going to be in reserve. Okay. And if you look at this, okay, this list has no like obvious reserves, so that might be a maneuver list. That's some way to spot it. But then again, some of the maneuver missions that you can have, like if you have to play maneuver and against defend list, like it's very hard for the maneuver list to attack the defend list. So it all comes down to the battle matrix.
I'm actually going to throw you guys a challenge. Especially like the guys watching this. Unfortunately, I can't see the chat right now. But those people that have access to the ETC lists now, I know they're going to be publicly available in a few days.
Yeah.
When the so-called review deadline should be done. But I mean, some of you guys already have access to them, so check my list and try to guess what's going in reserve and what comes on the table and what my stance will be. And then, like, the guys that have my private contacts, please send your guess to me. The rest of you, too bad, you won't be able to pass it directly to me, but you can maybe put it in the comments and Theo can pass them on to me.
Yeah. I'll definitely tell you. Is this challenge available for us also?
That's what I just said, for you and...
All right, let me look.
For Christian, you and Theo, primarily. Because you guys have my direct contacts, easily so.
But in regards to what Søren wrote in the chat, it's easy to spot the maneuver and defense list. But sometimes, this might be a list that I wanted to choose to defend with. But then again, okay, this list has some sort of weird issues. So it might be a maneuver list that is planning on defending, or then in worst case, it can also attack, but it's not that obvious always. But definitely, most of the time, you can spot the attack and defense list. But be wary. You might not see it coming when you look at the lists. And then again, if you have a good team, have a good set of lists, you can alter your setup.
I know your reserves. I know.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, send them to me privately, because
all right.
It's not public yet, so
exactly.
It shouldn't be talked to. And I mean, the reserves, if we end up playing against each other, you'll see what it is then.
But guys, I have
sorry,
Chris. We've been on for like an hour now, or at least I have. So I have to.
Yeah, you don't want to piss off the missus.
No.
All right, Christian.
Had an agreement, yeah. So, but to all of you guys, if we don't see you online until ETC, stay safe and have a safe travel to
you too.
Belgium. And then first round of beer is on me.
I'll hold you on for that one.
Yes. I have some fine quality monk beer, Leffe or something like that. And then, may the best team win, and then see you all guys there.
See you, Christian. I plan to do another stream next week, so maybe if you have some time, we can just drop in and have a chat. All right, Christian. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Lud, what you said is that people. So Soren says that Lud is. You haven't decided yet what your reserves will be. So
yes, I actually have.
Yeah, I also think you already have, because they're pretty nice.
It's actually the reserves are actually so complicated that I can't remember them out of my head. I must have my
lists in front of you.
PDF with me where I've highlighted for myself what goes on reserve and what doesn't.
Exactly. First of all, I would say your list is looking very, very hard to play, my friend. I mean, you will have to be very, very skillful in turning points out of it. Or this is how I see it.
Thank God I've had so little time to play this year that I've only been able to play on that one list. I mean, I played a very thematic version of that list in Iceland.
All right.
And then I just changed it to a more, let's say, competitive version. Since I've had very, very little hobby time for the last month. So
yeah, for me also, but I don't know if you watched the last stream or not. I actually made the hobby room at my office. So basically, I'm playing at the office when I have time.
You brought it to the office. I wouldn't get any job work done in that case.
No,
I would never be able. Okay, technically my office is like right there, but we're back to basically normal times here or at least let's say we're back to the non-COVID times in a way.
Exactly.
So I've been going to the office because it's a lot more fun to socialize with people.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, if I work from home, I work from there. But I have to keep my arms at least an arm's length away from the hobby stuff, because otherwise it's you can say bye to any work.
Exactly. Yeah. So the thing is, with this year's ATC, apart from the thing that I would have loved not to have the issues with list building that Battlefront has, and we should have put some rules that were in the initial rule pack, but then they changed in the voted rule pack. Other than this, I'm having high expectations. I mean, it's third year or so for Late War, or is it second year? Second year, right?
It's basically the hold on. Novi Sad was the last time we had ETC, and that was mid-war. Then we had a year in between. Then we had SSF.
All right.
Which was late war. So yeah, you could say this is the second year.
Second year.
We have late war.
Exactly.
And next year, I really hope that it's going to be mid-war with the so-called revised rules pack.
Yeah.
I guess you know what I'm talking. It's for the people going like, what revised thing? It'll be talked about later on.
Exactly.
The community has spoken.
Hopefully it got listened to.
I mean, it's going to happen anyway. That was voted on. So
yeah, perfect. Looking forward to see the changes that will probably improve gameplay and probably will bring some of the old people back who used to play version 3 and were kind of put off by the many things and the complexity of version 4. The thing is that the game is very nice and it's very well suited for competitive gameplay, but you need to have like some limits at a point.
Yeah, and I mean, I would still like to. It is a historically themed game. And I would like to keep it. I would like to keep it that. I don't like if this becomes one of those so-called battlefields on the table.
Yeah.
And like where you start having red dots on a World War I rifle, then I'm out.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly. I mean,
I can play 40K if I want to go super advanced high tech.
I had a discussion today with a teammate of mine, and we were talking about people taking the formation from one book and the support from another book, and he was like, well, I'm wondering why they didn't take support from Team Yankee. Because hey, it's a battle.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. It's like for Finn, for example, it's fun to see the Lapland War book card using German allies. That's
how you know how.
Yeah.
But
It's the moment. It's the moment when we kick the Germans out of Finland. So
exactly. So how do you what?
yeah, you can't really play allies in that case.
Yeah, I mean this is my opinion also. But hey, people are like
Yep.
doing crazy stuff. But I think things will change after revisioning of the lists. Hopefully, I know there's gonna be a team captain meeting on Friday, and let's hope things will be
Yeah,
clarified.
there's gonna be one tomorrow. Thank God it's tomorrow and not on Saturday like it was originally thought.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
people want to do other stuff on a Saturday evening than talking.
Exactly.
I mean, I do like Flames of War, but I want to choose my hobby time. And when it's summer, Saturday evening around 6 o'clock,
You just want to go out and have a beer or relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I totally
exactly.
agree with you. I totally agree with you. All right, Soran. Soran is saying goodbye. I think we're gonna close it also because basically we talked about the things that we expect from this ATC, and we have a lot of things to do. I mean, I need to paint my army myself. Some of the units I have to paint. Some units that I'm lending a full platoon of Easy 8s and Jumbo to my dear friend Julian, who's playing British and has a support like a full 40 points platoon of Easy 8s with Jumbo, and they're like very nice models. And I said, okay, Julian, I'm gonna give you these models, but I will paint them for you because they are my models in the end.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much for tuning with us. Next week, we will have the final lists, the revised versions and everything. And then we will discuss about the lists in particular. I mean, we will take a look on who's your favorite list. You know, we're gonna do this. Pick your pick your maneuver list, your defense list, or an attack list. And why do you like it, and what would why is it the best list that you think is gonna do well? And maybe, who knows, we can do some booking if you guys want to put some bets on the amount of points a list will have. Of course, it's all about the player.
I officially I cannot do that since gambling is monopolized in this country. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Perfect. All right, guys. Thank you very much. See you guys next time, and take care. Bye bye.
Take care.